Ain't Got It Yet podcast, episode 43. Very special guest is back. Lex, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be back.
I'm glad to have you back. We had a great time the first time.
I know.
Had a good time on the wine show, and now we're back here.
Exactly.
Glad to have you back.
I must be doing something right if you
Absolutely
asked me to come back today.
I enjoy your conversation. You good people. I enjoy your conversation. Absolutely.
That.
Absolutely. What's new with you? How you doing?
I'm doing good. A lot of things are new with me since we last met. I rebranded. So before, when I was on the show, my rug business was called Tuft Love, and now we just rebranded December 30th on my birthday to Rugs to Riches. So.
Oh, I love that name.
Yeah,
I like that name a lot.
Yeah.
What prompted the change?
So when I very first started to take tufting serious, I did a poll, and I was asking people hey, what are some ideas you have for my tufting business? And people were given a whole bunch of names, and it came down to Tuft Love or Rugs to Riches, and I went with Tuft Love, but there isn't a yarn company named that.
Oh, okay.
So I was already wanting to rebrand, and I was I need to do something that's gonna be to claim money into my life. It's not even just money, but to be rich in all aspects. Because rich isn't just money.
Absolutely.
Rich is a lot of things, just abundance. Yeah.
No, it's funny you say that. My dad used to, of course, we were middle class, low middle class, and my dad would be or my mom would say all the time, "We're rich in love. We're rich in love." And I used to carry that with me all the time. We're rich in love. We got love in here, and it's true though. It wasn't really a pacified thing because we weren't kids that wanted more. We didn't even realize what. But that always stuck with me, and I always carried that. And now I try to use that with my kids and with my family and stuff.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, being rich in love, and that's what I felt on my branding day. Is I felt rich in love.
That's dope.
You don't have to be rich in just money, but rich in everything, good relationships, rich in love, rich in experiences. So. Rugs to Riches.
That's dope. I like it. I'm still on the waiting list, right? Even though you
Yes,
okay.
you are. Yeah,
Just making sure.
You're actually one of the next ones. So the one that I'm working on now is a 6-foot rug, and then I got asked to showcase my rugs as a storefront, and then so once I do those pieces, then you're actually the first one on there.
Oh, nice. Good to know. Nice.
Look at that smile.
I'm excited.
I hope everyone's that excited for when their name comes on the list.
I can't wait. I was just telling. Was it my mom? I was just telling somebody I need to fix up my set here. I've been doing the same thing for when I like it. I added the TV with the link. That's a little element I added. But I've been saying
Don't
I need to.
It.
You're right. You're right.
It looks good.
Thank you. I do that a lot.
Good.
I do that a lot. And everybody's stop doing it. I do that. Thank you.
No,
I appreciate that.
It looks good.
That.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been looking forward to getting that done so I can add it to the set here. I want to put some stuff up on the wall. But yeah, for sure. Actually, the rug it might be a wall hanging. I'm not sure.
There's so much you could do. You can either do a wall hanging, or you could do a circle rug, but it would be this would be on top of it, or you could turn this into a rug, the tabletop, or the options are limitless.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I'm not even really sure. I had an idea when I first got on the wait list. I had an idea of what I wanted, and now I'm not sure. So I gotta figure that out. Now that I know I'm coming up soon.
Yeah. So another thing that I did, because a lot of people are well, crap, I don't know what I want, because it is an investment. So I created a Pinterest, and I have a folder in there for ideas. So if people just don't know what to get, they can go onto this little folder and just get inspiration of what they might want.
Oh, that's dope. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. I've been enjoying watching you transform your garage into your studio. I've really been enjoying that. That's dope. That's really,
I hope you drop
cool.
a clip in between of the before and after.
I will.
I'm Bobette the Builder.
Send them to me. I got you. I like Bobette the Builder.
Bobette the Builder. Man.
I like it. How's that been going? Are you all finished?
Yeah. There's some little things that I keep buying. I just bought another set of LED lights, but I get hyper focused on things. So, my garage, obviously when you're shooting content, you want your surrounding area to look nice. And my garage floor was nasty. The walls it was a garage. So yeah, I went to Lowe's and I was just I'm just going to invest in my space. And I did it by myself, painted, did the floors, put up lights,
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's dope.
It feels better when you like do something yourself.
Absolutely.
Too.
I was just gonna say that next. It's like, so I was gonna say like you could have like easily called a few people, but now it's like when you know like, nah, this is my space. I created it. I painted. I did all that. It feels different. It feels different for sure.
Yeah, especially because I'm the type of person, I don't like being on anyone else's time.
Same.
And then also I started it right after like the new year, like right after my birthday, the new year. So I know that people are like tired from the holidays. Like my girl Deanna came over for a little bit. Black came over and painted a couple of spots because I was struggling. I'm making it sound easy, but I did not know how to paint a wall.
You did a good 95, 98% of it though. You didn't have very much help from what I saw.
Yeah. It was funny. I went on TikTok live and I was like painting the walls and they were in there roasting me. They were clowning me because I just there's things you don't think about when painting a wall.
Yeah.
Like how wet the brush has to be. Like, I don't know, just slap some paint on it.
I did the same thing after my my oldest son was born. I painted his room and I did like a red stripe and a blue stripe like all the way around all four walls of his room. And I had the leveler. I did this like.
That's a lot.
Stenciled out where I was going to paint and everything and still messed up. I had to call my dad to come help me fix it.
It's hard.
Yeah, for sure.
I did not use any painter's tape either, so that was...
Oh, yeah.
I was really trying to just
get her done. Just jumped into it. That's the best way to do it most times, especially if it's like... I know for me, I had to learn to stop doing that, to like trying to plan out and like schedule out everything and just start. Because I'd be like... That was years ago though, like 'cause you get so caught up in like, all right, I want it to look like this and I want it to feel like this and stuff. But for me, I got to just get going. Then them first 5 to 10 are gonna be disgusting of whatever I'm creating, whatever I'm doing. But if I don't just get started, I'm probably never gonna start.
Yeah, and I think also when you go into things with like expectation as well, it leads to like more disappointment. I feel like if you just like have faith and just do it, but you appreciate whatever outcome there is and whatever imperfections there are. And you just learn and do better the next time or do something different the next time.
I agree.
Yeah.
You've also, we're going to still talk about the, your tufting business and everything, but you also just graduated.
I did.
Congratulations on that as well.
I keep forgetting that I did just graduate. They recognized me at work for it and I'm just like, yeah.
That's dope.
Master's in clinical mental health. Yeah.
Congrats. How's it feel?
Man, it's interesting coming up for air and having like a sense of clarity, but for 2 years I was working full-time, getting my master's full-time, and then since it's a clinical program I also have to be doing clinical hours. So that's a full-time job. It's like 30 hours a week. Sheesh. On top of tufting. So like now that I'm like done, I'm like I feel like burnt out. I'm like, I need to rest.
Need a vacation.
Yeah.
And then you came right back and got to painting and all of that.
Yeah, goodness. I don't know how to sit still. I'm one of those people that's like, okay, what next?
You don't like no vacations coming up soon? Nothing planned?
So my best friend, she lives in France. I told you about that. So we are planning a trip to go to France.
Okay.
Or she's already there, so for me to go visit her in France, but we need to solidify a date, but hopefully within the next like 5 months. Yeah.
Nice.
Something, please. Please, anything.
Knowing I wanted to ask you about finishing up school with your master's and everything, it got me thinking about like just the word master and like how what it's used for, like what the actual definition is, and what it's used for. And it got me thinking about like the fact that I think I've spoken about this on the podcast before, but the fact that I'm not to say like when you get your master's you've technically actually mastered. So I'm not saying you haven't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but it got me to thinking about what I've mastered and what I can master. You know what I mean?
What have you mastered?
I don't think I've mastered anything.
What is something that someone can ask you or that you could talk about and you can just keep going and going about, like that a lot of information about? Basketball?
I was about to say probably podcasting, basketball, and no, not really so much photography. I know a lot about photography, but there's so much that I still need to learn. So probably just podcasting and basketball.
Okay. So why would you not think that you're a master of that?
Because my podcast isn't where I want it to be yet. I make a little bit of money off of it, but I don't make much money off it right now. And it's not as visible as I'd like for it to be.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why.
So that's interesting. So I guess that goes back to what you said before about the definition of it, because for me, I don't feel like being the master of something is like knowing everything or always having the right answer, but it's just about you're continuously learning. Even if you are like the master of something, like you're always learning and evolving.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You have to give yourself more credit.
It's very true. And it's funny, I've been, even when Sarah was here on the show, and she's been gone for a while, I remember talking to her about the fact that I've been trying to practice more positive self-talk. And I'll get better. Like, I'll be like consistently like just so I lost my phone on Saturday night. I lost my phone, and then Sunday morning I went to T-Mobile, and the girl in there, really sweet girl, she was like, oh, what happened to your phone? And I was like, oh, my bonehead ass was sitting. She was like, why would you, don't call yourself that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, you're right. Literally since Sunday, like I've done that like once a day, and someone's been like, don't beat yourself up. I do it more often than I realize. I've realized how much this week that I actually like have negative talk about myself. I've noticed that this week. Yeah.
It's interesting how we can hold a lot of compassion for other people and uplift a lot of people, because you do that a lot.
Thank you.
But in return, like we don't have as much empathy for ourselves, or
For me, and it's funny, I when I was working with the youth, that was something I would try to teach them and like try to preach to them a lot. And it's funny that it's something that I like, I don't want to say struggle with, but something that I have to like constantly remind myself of. One of my friends, I used to wear his brand a lot, his clothing a lot, my guy Brandon from True Consciousness. I'll never forget, he's actually, like, he didn't say it, but just like the way he speaks about himself and the things that he does, he was one of the people that showed me, like, you know what, I need to speak more like that. He was saying, I forget exactly what he was talking about, but he was like, he was about to say I suck at something, and he caught himself, and he was like, I have a significant opportunity to improve in that area. Yeah. And I was like, yo, that was dope. And ever since, I was like maybe like 3-4 years ago. Yeah. And ever since then, I was like, you know what, I need to get into the habit of that. So it's still a work in progress for sure. Yeah.
And it can be just as small as that, like catching yourself, like catching yourself in the moment and then just rewording it. Like I just did that to my sister today, you know. I was like, I need to get my hair done. I'm going to get some braids. And she's like, I'm broke. And I'm like, no, we're not broke. You're not broke. Like, I need you to change the way that you just said that. Like, your money's on its way to you. Like, you already have your money. It's already yours. It's on its way to you. And she's like, you're right. Like, my money's on my way to me, and that's not what I want to spend my money on right now. I was like, there you go. That's good. Because words hold weight. Absolutely. Words hold weight.
Absolutely. And it's so funny that, like, I love to debate and like argue, and so when I'm engaged in a debate or an argument, when someone says something, and like I take it very literally, like I don't try to like assume what they're trying to imply or like what they're trying to say. I take it for exactly what they say. And like my brother, he'll be like, bro, you know what I'm trying to imply? I'm like, no, bro, words mean things. Say what you want to say then. And I say that in debates and in arguments all the time, but don't always apply it to my own self when I'm speaking. Yeah. Crazy.
It's easier said than done sometimes.
For sure. For sure.
It really is.
For sure. It really is. Have you obviously you want to, you know, dive and go hard with your your tufting and everything. But have you set any like concrete goals for 2024?
So I did one of those virtual what are they called? A vision board. Okay, so I did a virtual vision board. One of my goals is to, I really want a table at this event called Black Market Flea. So I don't know if you've heard of it, but it is, so it's a big market for black vendors in LA, and it's very like Afrocentric, and I just want to be able to create enough inventory to do that. Because my wait list is backed up. As you know, you've been on my wait list for a long time.
I'm waiting patiently.
You're so patient, and I appreciate it. Because it takes a long time to make rugs. They're literally handmade. Like,
I'm not rushing greatness. I got you.
Man, I'd love to do that. I also, one of my goals is to be featured in a storefront, which I was just asked to do that as well. Nice. So that'll be coming soon. And then really just expanding. I'm trying to still get better with my content skills, like on TikTok and being consistent, but and on Instagram, but it's a lot.
It is.
That's a full-time job.
It absolutely. You beat me to it. I was just about to say, all I do is create content. And I'm always like, I want to expand. I want to do more. I want to put out more. It's a job.
It is.
It's a job. Like I've said it. I've preached it. But I don't think people really truly because it's nothing to like. And I'm not judging. I'm not, whatever you use your account for is what you use it for. But if you're just like, this is just a personal account, you're just like showing like what you did today or like what you ate, it's, it's nothing to think about.
Yeah.
You just point, shoot, and hit post.
Yeah.
When you like creating content, you gotta like think about the caption. You
Yes.
gotta like, oh, no, it's something in my background. I gotta shoot it again. You gotta like think about the cover of it. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I'm happy to say I'm like past the point. Like I used to care about like the time I was posting and trying to use certain hashtags and all. I don't do that anymore. I just like create the content and I hit upload. I don't. And even doing that, it's still a whole like ordeal, a whole job.
It is. What do they say? Is like all content is good content. But yeah, it's just making the time, especially when you have a job or you're a father or you have whatever else going on. It's like.
It's crazy.
It takes a lot of time.
It's crazy. And I always be thinking like I need to have somebody to do this for me, but I'm like, I'm not right now. It wouldn't make sense for me to pay anybody to post on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like it just wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Any hooser. Let's get into some of these topics
Any
I got.
I've never heard that.
No, my little cousin laughs every time I say that. That's why I kept saying it. Let's see what we got here. Oh, accountability. I wanted to talk about that. Accountability. I was recently watching a few different things. It was like 2 different podcasts that I watched, and then a random like movie that I watched last night that I can't think of the name of, on Tubi of all places. But they were like on all 3 like things, just coincidentally, they were all talking about different like versions of accountability, and how it got me thinking about, like, how do I say this? I'm not always like the most, I try to be really good like with my friends about like, they like, hey, I need you to help me with this. Like I'm a good accountability partner. I'll say that. Like if you ask me to be, I'm not just gonna like the random person to do it. So I'm a pretty good accountability partner if you ask me to be. But as far as like with me, my accountability, like mainly with like being consistent with things, needs a lot of work. And so anyway, that's why I wanted to talk about accountability.
Yeah.
How do you keep yourself accountable with things or help others with being accountable?
That's a hard one.
Right?
So I think I'm pretty good at holding myself accountable, but I think that it helps to also have friends who hold you accountable, because like all of us, we do have days or moments or times where we just allow ourselves to either get comfortable or maybe are taken out of character or just slip into a place where we're not our best self or ideal self. So for me, how I hold myself accountable is by making sure I'm getting stuff done. Like I make checklists. And then also giving myself grace. Like if I don't get something done, I don't beat myself up, but I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to do something else. And tomorrow I'll get it done. But really what I've learned is that having people around you who help keep you accountable and who help like inspire you is like what keeps you like up here. Because it's easy to have friends who just want to sit around, not do nothing, or just get you into bad habits. But if you have other friends who are like creators that are like, let's just record today, or let me come to your garage and let's do this, or let's go support one of our other friends and go to their event, like it's easier to
I agree.
I
agree. It's kind of off topic a little bit, but you said like having friends that are creators. I know I haven't like, I've been super like really gravitating to my friends and the new people that I've met that are creatives.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been totally neglecting my friends and family that aren't creative, just because, I don't want to say that aren't creative, that don't like actively create things.
Yeah.
Because everyone's creative. I feel like I've been like staying, not purposely, but I've been like cast aside like my people that don't create, because I feel so energized and so alive when I'm around other creative people. And it's not to say that like I'm gonna go to Palmdale pretty soon and like go be with my cousins and my family. I hang out with my people all the time, but it's just a different feeling when you're with other creative people.
Yeah, your cup is being filled in a different way. Like, I don't know if you feel this way. I can't speak, for you, but like when I'm in a space like game night where there are people who have podcasts, there are artists, there are, a musical artist there are people who do hair, because that's an art too.
Absolutely.
Every single person in there is some kind of an artist. It's truly inspiring to just see like what people are doing. And I don't know, I feel like a creative brain is just so intriguing to me. Like, I love just sitting down and talking to like other people who are creatives.
Me too. I had when Dago Fats was here, he was talking about the way he sees and hears music, and the whole time he's at his phone, I was watching the edit back, and I was just watching just cheesing like smiling, because I like the same way I could list, like, it's so interesting to me. And just like sometimes I think like it wouldn't be like all that entertaining necessarily to hear me talk about but it is though, if you're a creative person. Okay, when I first started like really going hard with photography, I was sitting at my laptop editing, and I guess I won't say who, but a loved one of mine was behind me, like watching me edit, and they were like, "That's fun for you?" Like, just like watching me edit, like click and like delete something and move it here and just like edit like a basketball video. And they were like, "That's fun for you? This is what you want to spend your time doing this?" And this is when I first started. I was like, "Yeah, this is fun." And they were like, "Okay." And just turn around and walked away. But for me, like, if I were like to go to the studio and watch Fats like work on a verse, I could sit there and watch him do that all day.
Yeah.
Or I could go to like, I went to sessions at the shop, the second one. I messed around and got the times mixed up, so I got there when they were rehearsing. I just sat in there and just watched them rehearse. It was fun for me.
You got the good
seat. Right? Right? Yeah. So I was like, I could sit in there and just watch the creative process of most things. You know what I mean? I get energized by it.
Yeah. Another thing that's interesting about that is like, imagine if in that moment your loved one, whoever that was, if they looked over your shoulder and they were like, "Wow, like that looks so cool," like, and they were like poured into you instead of being like, "That's fun," and like just walked away. So that's why it's important to also like surround yourself with people who, I don't know, it's just different.
It is. You're absolutely, I never thought about that, but I could have like, especially for young creatives, or maybe it's something that like you feel like you want to do, but maybe you're not good at it yet and you're first trying it out. A comment like that could put your fire out.
Yeah, because you could be like, "Yeah, this is stupid, or this is frustrating," because putting content together is hard. But seeing the end process of how a video looks with like, that's when you're like, okay, yes. But like the in-betweens are like tedious, but in that moment you could have been like, "Yeah, this is, absolutely, I'm just going to put this away. I'm frustrated."
I didn't think about it until right now, but I could easily see myself, well, no, anything that I was like really like into, I was always like all about. But I could see like other people, like a young creative person, like, especially if it's someone that you love and care for, and they're like, "We outside hooping," or we finna go do this. You want to sit in front of the laptop, bro? Like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like that's why I'm that much more like, even like in my love life, attracted to creative men, like whatever that means, because if you guys aren't on the same page, it's like, we're not going to like the same things, or you're going to think that what I do is like dumb, and then you're going to be saying things like that to like put me down, or just like, it's different.
I was I was married for a long time, so like in choosing my partner at the time, like my significant other being a creative or an entrepreneur was not like a thing for me.
Yeah.
And even like becoming single, I didn't think it would be, like, it wasn't like, but in like my friends' band, I said, like, not that I'm like actively looking or anything, but like I've noticed that when I am describing like a girl that I may have been talking to, or that I am talking to, I'm like, "Oh, she's an entrepreneur and she's a creative," and it's not anything that, like, if you were to ask me, like, I'd write out my list. I'm not sure that I would put that on there, but I've been like excited to say those things about like when I'm describing somebody, you know what I mean, for sure.
And what's crazy is that that's changed, because before, like back in the day, if you were like to say like, "Oh yeah, my significant other, she's an artist," and like, "So she don't got no job?"
Yep.
Like, she's an entrepreneur. Okay,
that's very true.
She don't got no. Okay, so how much is she making? So it's interesting that we glamorize like being an entrepreneur and being your own boss and being a creative? Because before they're like,
I think the mindset has shifted, but I think what's also helped with that is like more people understand. Well, it's easier to become your own boss now, and I think more people understand that the process isn't what it used to be. Because before, to be a photographer, you probably had to like go find like a KUSI or like or a TV station or some organization to work for. But now you can just work for yourself. I mean, you have to get good to get clients, but now you can just work for yourself. You know what I mean? So I think that might be a big reason why it's like, you know, yeah, go ahead and try it out, because you could blow up in 30 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. It is kind of hard though, being your own boss, like doing the steps of like getting like an LLC and all of that. Like it really is like,
absolutely.
It really is some work, but I also think it has to do with what area we're in. I feel like being an artist, being a creative, being an entrepreneur, that's like a big thing in California. But if you're like to go to like other states, like they're like, oh, you're not in the corporate office, or you're not a lawyer, you're not like this. Like I think that they like value more stable jobs that are going to be able to feed your family type of things. Like, not that this can't, but I've noticed that it's different in California.
I wonder if that's like well, you didn't say, you said California. I was about to say, I wonder if that's like a big city thing. Because I would imagine like if you're New York, LA, I mean, we're not LA, but we're right next door. Like Chicago, like some of like the bigger cities, I wonder if it's like easier to be a creative entrepreneur, you know what I mean? I had never thought about that. That makes sense. Okay.
You're like, no, I gotta think about it. I don't know. I think a lot of things have to do with the area that you're in.
Oh, for sure. I think that's... I actually think San Diego is the perfect place to like start a creative endeavor. I really
100%.
Because it's like there's so many different people here. There's San Diegans here that love to be San Diegans, that are proud to be, but there's also, because it's a military town, there's so many people that aren't from here that are just down to try new things and down to give like random things a shot. And then we are in Southern California. We are right next door to LA. And then we have the beach here. We can go, like, we're an hour away from the mountains. It's just so much different scenery and different things to do here. So it's definitely, I think San Diego is the perfect place to start a creative endeavor.
I think that some people get deterred from San Diego because, obviously, like, Black people only make up 14% of people in San Diego. But what I love is that the Black creative community in San Diego, we're tight. We're sharing each other's stuff. We're showing up for each other. Like, anytime that anyone invites someone to an event, they're there. And they show love, and it's shouting each other out on podcasts, or like anytime I watch anyone's podcast, they're like, oh, shout out to this person or this person or that or this, like it's really just like putting each other on. So, and I think we talked about that last time, about how sometimes people can be like, oh, there's not enough room for us all to eat. And I really feel like we're getting to a place where everyone is just like,
I totally
we're
agree.
all coming up to the top.
I agree. I was telling my brother that, like, I'm sure there's there has to be some dope creative people here in town that I don't know yet and that I haven't connected with. But I was telling my brother, like, I'm quite sure that, like, I'm happy to say that I'm tapped in with most of the dope creatives here in San Diego, especially the Black creatives here in San Diego. Yeah, I love it, and that's like, it's what I wanted for the longest time, and I really just wasn't happening because I was in the house keeping to myself a lot of the time. But I would like do something or like go film a game and come home and edit and be like, I wish I like had another like photographer friend that like either I could just sit on the phone while I'm editing and talk to, or like we can go shoot a game together or something, you know what I mean? Yeah. I felt like I was just creating by myself for the longest time. And then I started getting out and meeting more people. And now, like I said, I'm happy to say that, like, I know pretty much everybody now. Yeah. And have become, not just know them, like I've become, let me be careful here, become friends with some of them and have are developing relationships with others. Yeah. It's really dope. Yeah.
I've been seeing that. Remember the first time that we met on the podcast, I was like, I never see you out. I don't ever see you anywhere. And since then, like, you show up and you come to places like alone too. Like, and that's like the hardest part, is like going somewhere alone. But like, I feel like that's also where you're able to like make more connections, because then you're forced to like speak to other people.
Absolutely.
If you show up with someone else, your comfort is gonna be with that person. But if you go by yourself, you're like here.
And that really happened because like I would be inviting people, but they would either no one could come or they would flake last minute, and I'd be like, I'm not gonna not go, so I'm gonna just go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I prefer to go places alone.
Yeah.
Like I don't. If someone wants to come, I'm not gonna be like no, but
Yeah.
I don't at all look for anybody to do anything with me anymore. Like I'm maybe it depends on what I'm doing. I usually call somebody like I'm going to Soul Sunday, you want to mob? But other than that. And even with Soul Sunday, like the last like 2 or 3 times I went, I took a friend of mine, a friend came with me, and he brought a friend with him, and we walked in together, and we were there for like the first 20 minutes, and I didn't see them again until we were leaving. And I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Like neither one of them, and he drove, and like
I got to see you at the end.
Yeah, and he didn't care, like he wasn't tripping at all. He's probably somewhere talking to a girl or something, and I was, you know what I'm saying, just doing my thing, hanging out. I prefer it that way now. And I used to you know, it's funny. I keep bringing up Sarah, but she said before she left the show, she was like, I'm telling you, she was like, just go somewhere. It's like, go sit somewhere and just eat by yourself, catch a movie by yourself.
I love
was like,
doing
you know
that.
what? I'm gonna start doing
Every
it. And now
week I do that.
Yeah. You go like you like have a set appointment or like what?
Yeah, that's my self-care, is I'll like take myself out to eat.
Nice.
And I'll go do something by myself. Like I love going to do things by myself, especially going out to eat, like to a nice restaurant. I'm like, table for one.
Like I said, I prefer it now. It was a few months ago. Way back, maybe like 6-7 months ago. I got done filming the show, and I wasn't ready to go home yet. And I was like, I'm gonna go. It was a Tuesday. I went downtown. I was like, I'm gonna go to Neo. Was it? I think it was a Tuesday. So I'm gonna go to Neo Soul Tuesday. And I got downtown and I drove by. And I love y'all, Neo Soul. I love y'all. So I drove by and I was like, I don't feel like going in there.
Yeah.
I'm not going in there. I'm not. So I just drove down. But like I said, I wasn't ready to go home yet. So I went to. I guess I won't give up all the spots I've been going to. But I went somewhere. Just went in, ordered a drink, sat there, ordered a hookah. Sat in there for like an hour and a half by myself on my phone, editing content on my phone, just hung out, and then after about like an hour and a half, just went home. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this a monthly thing, maybe weekly, but for sure, if not that, a monthly thing.
Yeah.
Like I had a really good time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to say like maybe like April or May last year.
I think that's also the trick that a lot of people have a hard time with, is being comfortable with your own company. Like, why is it that you don't want to eat alone? Mm-hmm. So that's good that you're to that spot. And a lot of people aren't comfortable with their own solitude.
I don't think it was that I was ever uncomfortable with my own company or I didn't like it. I have 2 brothers. I'm in the middle. I have an older and a younger brother. And then our house, like, because my parents were like, my dad was a minister. Like my parents weren't big on us like hanging out at other people's houses.
Yeah.
So all our friends came to our house. So my house was never empty. Like I said, I had 2 brothers, and it was always 1, if not 2 friends in my house. It was always like 5-6 people in my house. Yeah. And so I was never alone. And then so I never really like had to like entertain myself or like make fun by myself. And it was a learning process. Like I would be like, even on my lunch breaks at work, like early on, like when I first moved out, I'd be on like my lunch break. Of course, like your friends don't work with you. So I'd be like on my lunch break and I like finish my lunch and have like 45 minutes to myself. And I'd just be like, I guess I'll go work out or something. You know what I mean? Cause it was like,
like anything.
Yeah. Cause it was like, I'm not used to spending time by myself. And I remember as a kid, like my upstairs neighbor, so a white dude named AJ, his sister was like 6 or 7 years older than him, so he had to like make his own fun. She was like, and he'd be outside riding his bike, jumping by himself, playing basketball by himself, and I'd always look out the window and be like, he's crazy. I would never do that.
Yeah.
But then as I got older, I'd be like, I wish I could do that. And then I had to learn to do that. So yeah. Yeah,
it's something I definitely had to learn. I was not ever comfortable with that at all. But one of my friends, Deanna, she would always just go to places by herself. She's like, I'm just gonna go by myself. So I'm like, I started doing like little things, like eating by myself. And then now I do like little events where it's like people I know are going to be there, like game night, I'll go by myself or things like that. But I'm not to your level where I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to like Soul Sunday by myself. Like you told me one time, I was like, I have no one to go with. You're like, go by yourself. Like, I'm like, no. I have anxiety thinking about that.
Well, I always go to Soul Sundays. We can't find anybody to go. You can give me a call. I'm always be there. This is terrible. I'm usually pretty good at segueing into my next topic. Let's see what we got here. You said don't ask you, but I gotta talk about it. I've been dying. Oh, you know,
I hope that you have some names because I don't know.
I didn't really. I guess I didn't really have names that I wanted you to talk about. I just wanted to talk about this kid, Noah Kaniga. That is the crazy. You haven't heard about that?
No. So is that his last name?
He's a high school white dude too. High school football and basketball player. His name is Noah Kaniga. Last name Knigga.
Where does that originate from? Can we Google this?
We can.
Look, me.
You know, who was it?
The facts.
Robert Griffin III interviewed the guy, Noah Kaniga, and his whole family, and was asking them about their last name, and just like he's like eating chicken, and like he would ask them like about the name, and like try to do something like ethnic at the same time. So like while they're talking about the name Kaniga, he's like eating a piece of chicken, and it was weird. It was weird. I was like, what
That's weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's
it was weird. It was
strange.
weird. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
The last name is not even weird to me. It's the fact that he was doing all of that.
Yeah, because you can't...
He specifically had them on the show. Let me order this fried chicken.
Yes.
He planned this in his head, and he was like, this is going to be great.
They probably pulled... They may have pulled the actual thing down because I don't see it.
They should have. Because that sounds like trash. What the hell? Imagine someone wasting your time like that.
For real.
You thinking that they're actually interested in you playing basketball, and you going on there and them like...
He did, in fairness to him, I think it's trash that he did that. In fairness to him, he did, get questions answered about, like, you play football and basketball, like, what are your plans with that? Where does the name come from? So he did, like, do, like, his quote-unquote journalist job, but he just, like, had fun with the last name as well. I just didn't like the fun that he was having with it. Like,
I would need to see this podcast.
I got you.
What is this?
It was I think it was just like a 10-minute interview. I think he works for Fox, funny enough.
Sounds like something that would happen at Fox.
That's a kid, though. That's what he looks like.
This is his real name. Like, obviously. What do you think?
They were talking about like if he makes it pro, how much trouble like ESPN and all the different like networks would have like saying his name and how. Speaking of that, there's another good one. Steve Kerr. He used to play for the Bulls. He's the coach of the Warriors now. Mm-hmm. His last name is Kerr. He named his son Nicholas.
Nicholas Kerr?
But they don't... What's Nick for Nick? They call him Nick.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, exactly.
I'm like, what?
Right. So, it's funny enough, my first time seeing him, he was playing against my little cousin when they were like in middle school. And he was like, that's Steve Kerr's son. I was like, oh, for real? I was like, I didn't know Steve Kerr had a son. And he was like, yeah, his name is Nick. And I was like, no way. They were like, yeah. I'm like, they didn't think that through. He actually played for Torrey Pines and everything. But I was like, yeah, his name is Nick. And when the Warriors won the championship, he walked out with his dad, and the announcer guy said his name so slow to make sure he didn't get in trouble. He was like,
Nick
and Steve Kerr's son, Nick Kerr. It was so funny.
And kids are mean too. So
For
kids
sure.
are probably like making fun.
Absolutely. There was, speaking of that, I had a kid in my third grade class. We had like three kids named Christopher in our class, and I was one of two Michaels in our class. And so they called me Michael and called the other one Mike. And then Chris, his last name was like Paulus or like Powers or something like that. And our teacher was like, yeah, we can call you Chris P. And then so for the rest of the year, everyone just called him Crispy.
Yeah, Crispy.
Crispy, yeah.
Crispy, not Crispy, not Crispy. They call him Crispy.
Yeah.
What's that?
Anywho, let's see.
Yeah, I can't think if there's any like weird names that I've heard, but
you know what? My mom's actual name, her name is Elisa. Mm-hmm. She goes by Elisa, but her actual name is Princess.
Okay.
And her maiden last name is Davis. And So her name growing up was Princess Davis, and then her what was it? Her mom ended up dating another guy, and his last name was Davis as well, and he also had a daughter named Princess.
That's weird.
And they ended up in the same class in the 4th grade. So it's two
That's
girls,
really
Princess
weird.
Davis. And at one point, I think she said,
not a common name either.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, Davis is, but not to name your daughter Princess at all. Anywho, I think that's all I got for you. We ran through all my topics pretty quickly. I really just wanted to catch up with you, talk about rugs to riches.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Have a good conversation
really
like we did last
excited.
time.
I know. I wish I had like some stickers to bring for you or something, but I ran out of like everything.
That's all
but it's
good.
okay. We're gonna get you something better. We're gonna get you a rug.
Exactly.
A rug.
I gotta figure out what I want exactly though. Well, so before you go though, have you how do I ask that? Is there a what am I saying here? Like as far as like your branding and like your image, is there like a rug or an image or something that you wouldn't do?
Man, so as a part of my wait list, you have to submit like a request, and it's a request. So if you submit something that I don't like, I'll deny it.
Okay.
So I really don't like, no offense to anyone, but I don't like to make rugs with just like someone's name on it. A logo is different, but if you're asking me for a rug with your dog Coco's name on it, I don't want to. I don't have a lot of time, so I don't want to make this rug.
That makes sense.
For your dog Coco, who's gonna piss all over the rug. Like, I'd rather make this like dope rug that's like a portrait or someone's logo or something like fun, not that. So, I'm also looking to get some help, like someone to like work underneath me and like come and work with me in my garage so that we can get rugs pumped out quicker, because I wasn't expecting for like this many people to be on my wait list.
Nice.
So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have, but also like, okay, I want to get people their stuff. So
That's dope. I'm happy for you, Lex.
So
that's dope.
There are some rugs that I don't enjoy as much doing.
I hear you.
And those are those ones.
I hear you. There's some. Ooh, should I say that? Yeah, I'll say it.
Say it.
There's some games that I don't like filming. There's, and I don't like to say that because when I first started, my whole thing was to highlight the teams and players that typically wouldn't get a highlight tape, because like the best teams, like everyone's going to be there filming that.
Yeah.
So my thing was to highlight the kids that don't typically get that, and I'm kind of ashamed to say that I've moved away from that just because those aren't the teams and players that book me. Like normally it's like the better teams and better players that book me, and I gotta go where I'm getting paid. You know what I mean? I do still, the nights that I'm not booked, I try to go find a game to go and film just to show love to teams that I haven't filmed yet. But there's some games that I go to and I'm like, I should have not came to this game. It's not about, and I want to be clear because I know people that are gonna try to get on my back about it. It's not about the level that I film, because a lot of the time I'm at like an open division, or I don't expect you to know, I'm at an open division or a Division 1 game, and so I don't mind filming any level, Division 5, it doesn't matter. I just want to see a good game. Like if I see a blowout or like a boring game or a whole bunch of calls and like there's no flow and it's just a bunch of whistles, it's not fun. It's boring. I mean, the money's good, I'm gonna get paid, but I want to have fun while I'm working, you know what I mean? So
yeah, no, I feel like that's fair to say. I feel like there's a lot of things that people, as artists, that you're like, okay, like I don't really want to be doing this.
My guy, man, I'm going through that right now. Is it fun? Yeah, I'm having fun.
Is it fun?
I'm having fun making the video, but just going through the process of making the video for the MLK block party is like, I'm at like a little like roadblock right now, like a creative roadblock where I'm like,
What is it? If you feel comfortable sharing.
No, it's just I don't know if I need to change the song that I want to be like in the video, or if like I don't know what's going on, but I just like today when I was going through all the footage, I was like, I'll take a break, like 30 minutes and then look at it again. And I came back and I tried, and it was just like nothing's really I'm not moving anywhere
Picking
right
the
now.
music is one of the hardest parts, is picking the music to go with the video.
And I've been trying to, like, when I make basketball videos, and I thought we were going to be done. When I make basketball videos, I try not to, like, I don't choose the music first. Like, I'll have an idea of, like, if there's a song in my head, then I might try to use that song. But I try to, like, cut up the clips first and try to, like, figure out, like, oh, yo, dude, this one's gonna be in slow-mo. Like, oh, this dunk was dope, I'm gonna put this in the front because it's, like, gonna grab the attention. So I try to, like, have like a script or like a rough idea of how I want the video to go. But I've noticed with the basketball videos anyway, if I choose the music first, then, like, I don't, like, it's not the most, like, authentic creation because I'm trying to fit it to this song. You know what I mean? And maybe that's what I'm running into right now with the block party video. But just like today, like 3 different times I tried it and was like, nah, I'm gonna have to try this again tomorrow. So we'll see. And I know tomorrow
it's hard getting out of that, like, creator's block where you're just, like, overthinking it, and then once you overthink it, you're like you're like, okay, I need to just make a decision.
And especially like he's he's usually pretty good about it because he's like guy Mike, man. Speaking of man, there's the R&B block parties. You know, he really says Maine after everything. Like he doesn't type anything. It's all like voice notes. So he'd be like, Mike, man, what's up? I need that video, bro. They'll be like, all right, I got you. And I'm knowing because the party was last Saturday and tomorrow's gonna be Friday. I know he'll be hitting me like, what's up? I need that, and I'm not even close to done. So
have you tried to ask him? So is it the music part?
I don't know. I'm feeling like it might be the music part.
Have you thought about asking him, like, hey, like, send me three dope songs that you like right now, or maybe like 3 songs that you can imagine like this video going to, and then like maybe like starting from there, because he like does music too, right? Or is it DJing, or is this just events?
I think he just the events.
Okay, but he probably has like music that he. So maybe ask him, like, hey, send me like 3 songs that you like could imagine your video going to, and then maybe like that could like give you the inspo to like a direction for your video.
Now that you're saying it out loud, I'm rethinking like my process to everything, and I'm thinking it is the music though, because it's an MLK party, and, you know, the I Have a Dream speech, and I was trying to like go with the dream, like something off the Dreams and Nightmares soundtrack. So maybe because like the song, I'm trying to like stick to those songs. It probably is the song.
Yeah.
Probably is the song. All right.
Yeah.
See? Talking to creatives.
Got you.
Appreciate you.
You just need someone to give you a different lens.
Exactly.
See, that's why it's good to connect with other people, because sometimes you're just like... So.
Speaking of that, I plan on, hopefully the first one will be next month in February. I think I might have told you about it on Instagram. I want to host creative kickbacks. I don't know any other name to call it, but creative kickbacks.
Did you tell me about that?
I think I did. Maybe not.
My feelings are going to be hurt if I'm just not finding out. No, just kidding.
I was about to say, I'm quite sure I did. I'm quite sure, but you're definitely...
You probably did, yeah.
I was like, I have a list of people that I'm going to invite.
Okay, like top 5.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
I got you,
top
for sure.
5 list?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
For sure,
VIP,
for sure. I've been inviting you. It's the second time on the show. You're on the wine show.
Something.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to have, like, I mean, just like the kickbacks that we had, you know, like when we were, you know, before going to clubs, and we were all going to kickbacks. When kickbacks were fun, though. When it was like, I don't even got to describe it. When kickbacks were fun, I want to do that, but just it's all creatives, and we all bring like a project that we're currently working on. Yeah, I did tell you about it because you were saying you need a lot of space to create. You were saying maybe.
Oh yeah,
I did tell you
if I were to come and create a rug. Do you have a space for that?
I do. I haven't seen it yet, but yes, I do have a space. I'm supposed to be seeing it this weekend.
Okay.
It's right here in Mission Valley, though.
Okay.
But yeah. I'm gonna have the kickbacks that we used to have, but it's just like I'm gonna be in there. I'm gonna have my laptop, and I'll probably be like working on a video, or like have some pictures that I'm editing. You could be working on a rug, and just everybody, whatever you create, just bring it. Even if you don't have anything that you're actively creating, if you want to bring your journal or your vision board or whatever. But I just want, just like you said, just have all the creatives in one space, creating, bouncing ideas, having a drink, having some snacks, just having a good time. I want to do that.
Input,
Exactly.
If you need a space, or that space doesn't work out, let me know.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Have a resource or connect. But
good to know.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, looking forward to that. That's gonna be a good time. And I want to do it once a month, or if not once a month, every other month. But I'm thinking once a month.
I like that.
That'd be dope.
Or even like what I was thinking about today is like I love that, but also like coffee shop meetups, like what we were kind of alluding to before, like meeting up with someone and like creating content, like just having a bunch of creators go to like a dope coffee shop, preferably a black owned coffee shop, and everyone just like there like editing content, or like, hey, what do you think about this music, or like what do you think about this? Like,
I'm fully down for that. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie, when you the one you posted, there's been more than one, but the first one I saw, when you said when your best friend comes to create with you, is you and D. I got jealous. I was like, I want to be there. I want to go.
Yes, and I want my garage to be that kind of space too. So
okay, dope.
Hopefully we're gonna get a little couch in there and just like have like a little creative space. So yeah, you can come hang out.
Good to know.
You can come hang out. We'd be just chilling. And now that it's like actually like cozy in there, it's like different. Yeah.
That's what's up. I'm hoping not to like, for the kickback, it's not enough space, but I'm hoping I could start like just like hanging out where we do the wine show. You just start like hanging out there and just like kicking it down, especially since it's downtown anyway, just hanging out and doing stuff in there. So that'll probably start pretty soon. Yeah. If not, probably next month.
When's the next wine show? Is it this weekend or next weekend?
27th, next weekend.
Okay.
Next weekend. Yeah. That'll be fun. Yeah. I'm working on the topics for that. I want to, I'm gonna get a little bit more meticulous about that, because I like the way episode 1 went. It went especially for our first episode, it went smooth. But we all had way too many drinks on episode 2, and it didn't go like that. It was fine.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Yeah, you weren't there for that one. Yeah, it was cool, but it was just like it was. We won't do that. We won't do that.
You guys are fucked up.
Because Dre went and got that damn rum. Like we said, he was like, I don't want no wine, I'm gonna go get some rum. I'm like, yeah, we right here, go grab it. And then he came, and it was just, I'm editing the video, and at one point I had one wine glass with wine and one with rum, and I'm talking like, yeah, I'm like, it was just, yeah, we won't do that.
I'm sure it was still good. No, I watched it. It wasn't bad at all.
And we had fun, and it was still a good conversation, but there was a few times I was like looking at my eyes and looking at my face, and how slow I was talking. I was like, yeah, I gotta.
You're in slow motion.
Yeah, I gotta be better next time. Definitely gotta be better next time.
That's funny.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing about all of these, is that it's like a learning process. So now the next one's going to be number 3. So now you know like everything to do like with the audio. 'Cause it's different when you're here and you know your setup, and going there and it's like a different setup. 3 times as many people. All that.
And it's funny enough, for episode 3, and we're gonna get out of here in a second. For episode 3, Evan let me borrow one of his cameras, and then it got canceled. I was all excited. I was like, I got an extra camera. I actually had, that was right, because you said last time you were here I only had 2. So I got one of my cameras out of the shop, and then Evan let me borrow a camera. So I had 4 shots. I had I borrowed a light from somebody. I had all this extra equipment. I was all ready to go, and then it got canceled. And I'm not sure if I'm going to have all that equipment for episode 3 either.
We're going to claim that for you. You are going to have it.
See?
And if you don't, it's meant that way, and it's going to still work out.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. It's going to be a good time. I'm having a lot of fun with the wine show, even if like just like putting the ideas together and the plans together for it, because I've been had the idea for that show for a long time. So to finally be able to do it is really happy about that.
So who's going to be on the next one?
That I'm not sure yet. Right now it's me, you, D, and Kayla. I think that's the only people and Trevor. You haven't met Trevor yet.
Okay.
You haven't met Trevor yet. With those only people to confirm so far.
All right.
It'll be a good time though. Trevor's he's a conversationalist for sure. He's that's my guy right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Lex. Tell them where to find you on Instagram, where to find the business and everything.
Yeah, so you can find I actually have an official business website and a page, so you can find us at rugs2riches.vip, so rugs2riches.vip to get on my wait list. My Instagram is Lexi_Larae, LEXY_LARAE. My TikTok is the exact same, Lexi_Larae. I think that's it. I'm like, where else can you find me? Right. In the streets. I'm just kidding. Not in the streets. I'm normally at home. Where it's safe.
Right. I like it. So another episode of the Ain't Got It Yet podcast. I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Till next time. Take care.